Hello everyone, welcome to today's video on BEGG 172, that is language and linguistics. Today our focus will be on your June term end examinations. Please watch the video completely, and if you like today's video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. If you want any guest paper related to this topic, you can always visit our website shop.hindustanknowledge.com. You can just enter the code and you can just search for the topics, and you'll be getting all kinds of information on this, your guest papers, your question papers, your assignments, all these in our website. So you can just go through that. You can select the subject you want and you can download it, you can add to the cart, and you can make the payment. So some papers are available both in Hindi and in English. So let's start today's video. Okay, let's start with today's questions. So the first question is, discuss the difference between the following by giving suitable examples: monophthongs and diphthongs, prefixing and suffixing. So first let us understand what are monophthongs and diphthongs. So in English pronunciation, vowel sounds are very important. Which are the five vowels we know? A, E, I, O, U. These are the main vowels which we know, which we have learned since our primary classes. But today we'll be understanding the two main type of vowel sounds, and which are they? Monophthongs and diphthongs. So first let us know about monophthongs. Monophthongs, as the name itself suggests, it is a single or a simple sound. Monophthongs are a simple vowel sound. They are single, pure vowel sounds that cannot change while you pronounce them. For example, the sound of a in cat, we don't say it as a or a, it is a, cat. E in bed, e in sit, o in dog, a in cup. So when you say these vowels, your tongue and mouth stay in one position. The sound is steady and does not move. As you can hear these, we are not stretching any E sound, A sound in these words. We are not saying cat, bed, like that. We are just saying cat, bed, sit, like that. Okay? So think of it as a straight line in a sound. It is going in a straight line. Though there are no variations. So these are monophthongs. Next is the diphthongs. So diphthongs. What are diphthongs? Diphthongs, on the other hand, are complex vowel sounds. They are made by joining two vowel sounds together in the same syllable. While pronouncing a diphthong, your mouth and tongue move from the position of the first vowel to the second vowel. For example, the sound O and I makes the sound oi. Here, O is also vowel, I is also vowel. When we merge them, it is giving us one sound, and that is oi. One more example is ow. So O is a vowel, U is a vowel. It is getting merged and it is giving one sound ow. And here as well, I. A is a vowel, I is a vowel. Both of them are joined together and gives us the sound A. So here, oi as in boil, ow as in house, A as in train. Other than this, you also have other examples like train or coil, mouse. All these are the example of diphthongs. In diphthongs, the sound glides from one vowel to another, creating a two-part sound. So this is the main difference between monophthongs and diphthongs. Monophthongs is simple, single and pure vowel sounds. Diphthongs are complex vowel sounds. So here we will be having a two-part sound. Okay, so let us say the key differences. So monophthongs are single sounds, diphthongs are double or gliding sound, as we have already seen in the examples. The mouth movement, in monophthongs there are no movements. In diphthongs, movement of the tongue and mouth is present. Examples for a monophthong is a cat and a pet. For a diphthong, it is O, a boy, O and Y, boy, COIN, coin. Okay. In simple words, monophthongs are steady and diphthongs are sliding sounds. So learning these helps in correct pronunciation of English and speaking of English as well. So speaking and correct pronunciation is very important not only for English language but also for any language we learn and speak. Next, we'll be discussing about prefixing and suffixing. What is pre? The pre itself means before. Okay. In English, words can be changed in meaning by adding small parts called affixes. Affixes can be prefixes or suffixes. So first we will discuss about prefixing. So what is prefixing? As I already told, adding a word or letter at the beginning. Pre means before or the beginning. So prefixing means adding a word or letter at the beginning of a word. Prefixes can change the meaning. Remember this. It will change the meaning but do not change its grammatical category. For example, un is a prefix. Un plus happy makes the word unhappy. So the opposite of happy is unhappy. So when you add a prefix like un, it is giving the opposite meaning. So read is the prefix here, write is the word. It is giving the meaning, it is giving the word rewrite. So even here it is an opposite meaning. So pre is the prefix, view is the word. So it gives us the meaning preview. It gives us the word preview, which means see before. Okay. Here the prefix changes the meaning of the root word. So which is the root word here? Happy, write and view are the root words and prefix have changed the meaning of the root word. So let us see what is a suffix now. Suffixing means adding a letter or a word at the end of the word. Suffixes often change the grammatical category of the word, like from a verb to a noun or an adjective. Okay? Example, child, when we add the suffix ish, it becomes the word childish. Childish is an adjective. Act and er, it makes the word action. When it comes to quick plus ly, it gives an adverb quickly. So suffixes are those which can change the grammatical category of the word, and these are the words which are added after the words or after the letters. So what is the major difference between prefix and suffix? Prefix is before, suffix is after. Okay, let's see the key differences now. First, let's see the position. So prefix at the start of the word, as we have already discussed, suffix at the end of the word. The function of a prefix is to change the meaning. The function of a suffix is often changes the meaning and sometimes even the word that is typed. The examples for a prefix can be impossible. This becomes an opposite for possible, or do or redo. Example for suffix can be happy, happiness, happy becoming happiness, and careful. Okay. In short, prefixes go before, suffixes go after, and both are ways to make new words from old ones. They are essential tools in building vocabulary and understanding word formation in English language. So the next question is, discuss various types, features and structure of verb phrase by giving suitable examples. So first let us understand what a verb phrase is. So verb phrase is a group of words that has main verb. Remember this, it has a main verb and can include auxiliary verbs or helping verbs, modifiers or changers which can help you change, or complements. There are mainly three types of verb phrases. What is the first verb phrase? That is the simple verb phrase. It contains only the main verb. You can see the example. She runs every morning. The word runs is the simple verb phrase. When we see compound verb phrase or a more complex verb phrase, it contains more than one main verb, often joined by a conjunction. Example, he runs and jumps
in the park. Where is he running and jumping? He's running and jumping in the park. So we can see two verbs here, runs and jumps. Next is complex. Complex verb phrase is the one which contains one main verb along with auxiliary or helping verbs, modals or verb phrases. So in short, what we can understand is simple verb phrase is where only one main verb is present. Compound verb phrase is where there is more than one main verb, especially here if you can see runs and jumps, there are two verbs. And complex verb phrase is where there is main verb plus auxiliaries. Okay? Next, let's understand the features of a verb phrase. So, some of the important features of a verb phrase are, first we'll see the central role, that is what is the main role of the verb phrase. Verb phrase forms the predicate of a sentence and tells what the subject does. Auxiliary verbs, verb phrases may include helping verbs like is, have, will, can, and etc. What are auxiliary verbs? These are the verbs which help us in understanding a sentence in a better way. Example, she is reading a book. She reads a book. If we talk like that, we are not understanding. Like for example, the auxiliary verb here is. Is the auxiliary verb that is making a relationship between she and the book. Next is the tense and the aspect. Tense, as we all know, there are three main tenses, past, present and the future. Verb phrases shows tense as we already discussed, and aspect. Is it simple tense, is it perfect tense, is it continuous tense, or is it perfect continuous tense, and all those. Example, he has finished his homework. So this is an example as to how verb phrases help us to understand the tense and the aspect of the sentence. Next is agreement with the subject. The main verb in verb phrase changes according to the subject. Example, I am happy versus they are happy. I am is a singular, they are is happy. So here the subject is I, this is singular subject. Here the subject is they. So when you see here the verb changes am and are according to the subject. So what is the structure of a verb phrase? The general structure of verb phrase can be written as below. This can be your formula, very important, remember this, so that it can help you in your examination. It is easy for you to remember. So what is the formula? Auxiliary or the modal verbs plus the main verb, object, complement or the modifier. Example for this can be, she can speak English fluently. Can is the auxiliary or the modal verb here. Speak is the main verb. English fluently is the object and the modifier. And one more example that can be given is, they have been working all day. In this, have been is the auxiliary or the helping verb. Working is the main verb. All day is the modifier. So please remember this, as I've already told, this formula is a game changer. Verb phrases are flexible and their complexity depends on the number of auxiliary verbs, modals and additional modifiers. Understanding verb phrases is essential because they are heart of the predicate in any sentences. So first let's understand what is a hyponymy. Hyponymy is a linguistic term used to describe a relationship between words where the meaning of one word is included within the meaning of another. In simple terms, hyponym is a word that represents a specific type of something more general. The more general word is called as hyponym or the subordinate. So in simple words, hyponymy is a relationship between words based on the meaning. A hyponym is a specific word, whereas a hypernym is a general word. So this much you have to remember. Example, consider the word flower. It is general term that refers to many types of flowers, as we know. Words like rose, tulip, lily are specific type of flowers. Here, rose, tulip, lily are hyponyms, whereas flower is a hypernym. Helps in organizing vocabulary in a hierarchy. Hierarchy means in a structure. It shows how words are related based on specificity. This relationship is very common in dictionaries, thesaurus, and even in artificial intelligence language models for understanding the meaning. So basically, it's a type of relationship. For example, a dog. If you have to give an example, a dog is a type of animal. So the key points that can be understood in this is hyponym is a word that is more specific in meaning. More specific is important. This is the key word. Hypernym is more general. More general is the key word. Hyponymy creates a type of relationship. Dog is a type of animal. It helps in building knowledge about categories and classifications. So if I have to give you some examples, rose is a hyponym of flower, a sparrow is a hyponym of a bird. For example, and one more example I can give is cat is a hyponym of animals. So why it is important to understand? Understanding hyponym is important for learning the languages, learning the vocabulary, building natural language process. It helps learners understand how words are related and how to use them correctly in the context. Next, we'll understand about the term synonyms. Synonyms means having the same meaning. A synonym is a word that has the same or very similar meaning as another word. Synonyms help avoid repetition in language and in making writing and speaking more interesting and precise. Explanation, for example, the word happy and joyful are synonyms because they express a similar feeling. Similarly, big and large can often be used interchangeably depending on the context. So basically, what a synonym? Synonym means something similar or same. S and this. You can remember this. Synonyms have similar meanings, but their use may differ slightly depending on the context. Means what are you trying to write or what you are trying to say. They enrich language and help writers and speakers express ideas more clearly. Synonyms are what enriches the language, or they are the ones which enriches our speech or also our writing. Not all synonyms are exactly identical. They may vary in intensity or even formality. For example, start and commence are synonyms, but commence is more formal. So if I have to give you examples in sentence, he was very happy to see his friends. Instead of using very happy, you can also use joyful. This is a synonym. The room is big. Instead of using the word big, you can say large enough for 10 people. So why synonyms are important? Synonyms are important for effective communication. They help avoid repetition, add variety to language, and improve the writing skill. Knowing synonyms also help in understanding the nuances of words, which is essential in language exams, reading, comprehension, and vocabulary building. So synonyms and hyponyms are very important topics, especially keeping in mind the short notes in your examinations. So next we'll be understanding about the short notes like compounding in English. What is compounding? Compounding is the process of joining two or more words together to form a new word with a specific meaning. It is when two words join to form a new word, if I have to tell it in a simple way. The new word often has a meaning that is different from the individual words taken separately. Compounding is very common in English and helps create nouns, adjectives, and sometimes even verbs. So let's understand the types of compounds. First is the closed compound. So closed compounds is where two words are joined together without any space. Example, notebook, toothpaste, bedroom. If you see, these are the words which have a different meaning if we take it in a different way, if we take it separately. For example, the word bed and room. Bed means different, room means different. But if we compound them together, it gives one particular meaning. Here also, tooth is a different word, paste is a different word. And it has different meanings. But if we compound them together, it will give one singular meaning. So there is no gap between note and book, tooth and paste, bed and room. So this is an example for closed compounds. Next is hyphenated compounds. Words are joined with the hyphen. Remember this, hyphenated compounds, hyphen. These are very important. Example, mother-in-law, well-being, part-time. See, mother, in and law have a hyphen in between them. Mother, after mother there's a hyphen, after in there's a hyphen, and there's law. Same with well-being, there's a hyphen after well, and part-time there is a hyphen after part. So other examples can be father-in-law, brother-in-law, cooperate, and all this. These are hyphenated compounds. Next are the open compounds. Words are written separately but function as a single idea. For example, high school, ice cream, and post office. If you see, the difference between hyphenated and open compounds is these two both are written separately, but in hyphenated compounds there is a hyphen, but in open compounds there are no hyphens, but there is a space. After high there is a space for writing school. They're not written together like we write the closed compounds, but it doesn't have a hyphen. Now let's understand how compounding works. In English, compounding usually combines nouns, adjectives, or verbs. Noun plus noun. Tooth is a noun, paste is a noun. When we compound them, it becomes toothpaste. Foot is a noun, ball is a noun. When we combine them, it becomes football. This is an example for compounding words. When we have to, for noun plus noun, these two are the examples. When we have to take adjective plus noun, black is an adjective. Adjective is what? As a quality. Black is an adjective, board is a noun, blackboard is a compounding word, full is an adjective, moon is a noun. Full moon is a compounding word. Verb plus noun, washing is a verb. Verb are those which tells the actions. Washing is the verb, machine is a noun, swimming is a verb, pool is a noun. Washing machine and swimming pool are the examples of verb plus noun compounding verbs. So what is the purpose of importance of compounding? Compounding allows the language to create new words without inventing completely new forms. There is no need to form new words. If we compound the words that are already available, it makes the communication clear and concise. For example, toothbrush is more precise than saying brush for teeth. So adds richness to the vocabulary. So compounding is basically that help us to create new ideas. In simple words, compounding is like putting Lego blocks together. It is very easy for you to remember. That's why we have used these words. It is like putting Lego blocks together. Each word is a block, and when combined, they form a new block with a fresh meaning. It is flexible, creative part of English language that helps speaker express ideas efficiently. So next we'll be understanding about the conversion in English. What is conversion? Conversion is also called as zero derivation. Remember, in your examination, instead of asking you about conversion, they may also ask you to explain zero derivation. So remember this, conversion and zero derivation means the same. So zero derivation or conversion is the process of changing a word from one part of speech to another without adding any prefixes or suffixes. Remember what are prefixes? Prefixes are affixes that comes before the word. Suffixes are the affixes that comes after the word. So conversions are those words which changes a word from one part of speech to another. Like it can convert a noun to an adjective, it can convert a noun to a pronoun. These are conversions. Essentially, the word stays the same in form but changes in its function in a sentence. If you have to see the example, noun to a verb, this will be our first example. Email is a noun. How it has become a verb now? I emailed him yesterday. Email has become a verb here, right? Email is the noun, emailed is an action. So I emailed him yesterday is a noun to verb conversion. Like bottle is a noun, he bottled the juice. What is bottled? Bottled is an action. So the noun bottle has converted into a verb. So some more examples. Verb to a noun, run is a verb. I went for a run. So this running is a verb, but when we convert them, it can become a noun. Here in this sentence, run is not a verb, it is a noun. Drive is a verb. She took a long drive. Drive has become noun. One more example can be adjective to noun. What are adjectives? Adjectives are the words that describes. So poor, help the poor is when an adjective called poor has become a noun over here. So how conversion works? No new letters are added. The meaning may slightly shift, but the root words remain the same. As you can see, here the main words are the same. Email, bottle are the same, but there is no change in that. Just ed and all these are added, but the main root verb has not changed. Even here, run, drive have remained the same. The meanings have slightly changed, but the root word has not changed. Context in the sentence tells us the word's new function. Where it is being used is what tells us the context in the sentence. So why it is important? Conversion makes English vocabulary flexible and economical. Economical means there is no need for us to keep on finding new words for new things. It allows speakers to create new meanings without complicated changes. It helps in writing, speaking more creatively and efficiently. To conclude, conversion is like a word, a new role in a play. The actor, the word stays the same, but its role that can be compared to the part of speech, noun, pronoun, or verb changes depending on the sentence. This process adds versatility to English language, making it dynamic and adaptable language. So these concepts are very important for your linguistics examination. So today we have covered key topics in the language like vowel sounds, word formation, verb phrases, and important meanings of hyponymy and synonyms. These concepts are fundamental for understanding how English language works, and they are frequently asked in your examination. Revise the example so that you can understand the differences clearly. Conclude the video of what we have learned today. We began with the vowel sounds, understanding the difference between monophthongs and diphthongs. This is important because correct pronunciation start with knowing how sounds are formed. Monophthongs are steady single sounds as we have already discussed, while diphthongs glide from one sound to another. This small difference helps us speak more clearly and recognize patterns in spoken language. Then we move to the word formation. That was our second question, that is prefixing and suffixing. These processes show how English builds new words. Prefixes change the meaning of a word, while understanding affixes, your vocabulary automatically grows and you also improve your ability to guess meanings of the new words. After this, we understood the verb phrase, which is actually the heart of any sentence. Without a VP or a verb phrase, a sentence cannot show action, time, or even the state. We looked at simple, compound, and complex verb phrases and how auxiliary verbs or helping verbs help us to express the tenses and aspect. This topic is especially important for your grammar and sentence construction. Don't think that it is important only for examination. It is important for your daily vocabulary as well, as you will be using language. So overall, today's session was not just about definitions, it was about understanding how language works, and we also discussed about the meaning relationships in vocabulary when we discussed about hyponyms and synonyms. What are hyponyms? Hyponyms help us understand how words are organized into categories, like rose being a flower. This shows how language structures knowledge. Synonyms, on the other hand, help us to vary our language. It helps us avoid repetition. But we must also remember that similar words may differ slightly, but there is some similarity in the tone or formality, but the words may be similar. Finally, we discussed very important topics that in English language, there is compounding and conversion. Compounding joins words together to create new meanings, while conversion changes the word's grammatical role without changing its form. These processes show how flexible and creative English language is today. So when you see language this way, like the way we have discussed, we can understand that linguistics has become much more logical and less confusing. For your exams, make sure you remember clear definitions, always include the examples, explain differences point by point instead of putting everything in a place. Make sure you put them in neat points. This is what most examiners look for. If this video has helped you understand the topics in a simple way, make sure to like the video so that more students like you can find it. Share it with your classmates who are preparing for linguistic examinations, and also subscribe to our channel for more easy explanations of English language and literature notes. Keep learning, keep revising, and remember, language is not just something we use, it's something we can understand and analyze. See you in the next lesson. Thank you.